welcome back. My name is Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today we are going to be working on an MFR course, so myofascial release flow for your upper body. Props for today, you will need some props. A blanket would be great if you need it under your knees whenever we're in positions like cat-cow, and then also a bolster or a cushion if you've got something like that, pillow, something just to support you. You can always use blocks to help with that and put a blanket over it if you would prefer to do that. So let's go ahead and let's start in easy seat. Crisscross applesauce, one vertebrae stacked on top of another. Find one deep, big breath in your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then come into your tabletop position. If you need your blanket, now would be a great time for it underneath of your knees, because we will be in this kind of position for a little bit. So find your tabletop. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide. Fingertips and knuckles are pressing down into the ground, so then you can kind of suck the mat up with your palms. Your belly is pulled into your spine, your knees are underneath of your hips, and let's keep our toes curled today. So find you a couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale, filling your belly up. Inhale, drop your belly down towards your mat. Put an arch in your upper back and your lower back. Think about bringing your heart between your shoulders. Your neck is long and not cranked. Exhale, round your back, pulling your belly button up towards your spine, dropping the top of your head towards the floor, and think about your tailbone being heavy. Inhale, cow. So you're dropping your belly towards the floor again. Push into your mat to help open up your chest. And then exhale, round your back for your cat position. Really push away from the floor with your hands, so it's almost like you're trying to spread your shoulder blades apart to each side of your body. Inhale to table. This time with your cat-cow, we're going to think about doing it one vertebrae at a time, like your vertebrae is just a strand of pearls. So you inhale, and as you inhale, you start to arch your neck up, and then your upper back, your mid back, and then your lower back and your tailbone flips up to the sky. Be patient with yourself. It's a little bit confusing at first to get the hang of it, and then we're going to go into cow the same way. So first your head tips, and your upper back's going to round, your mid back, your lower back, and then your tailbone is dropped all the way down, pushing away from the floor. Let's try it again with this way, with your head going first. So inhale, lifting your head into your cow position, your upper back, your mid back, your low back, and your tailbone. And then into your cat position. So drop your head first, then round through your neck, your shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, tailbone drops. And bring yourself back to table. So we're going to do the same thing, except just a little bit different. We're going to start with our tailbone this time instead of our head. So think about your tailbone flipping up to go into your cow position, and then your low back, your mid back, your upper back, and your head. And then for your cat, so your tailbone flips so it's pointing towards the floor. Then your low back follows, mid back, upper back, shoulders, head. Back into your cow position, starting with your tailbone and your inhales. So flip your tailbone, your low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, head. One more time into your cat position, starting with your tailbone and your exhale. So tailbone, your low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, head. And to your tabletop. You can step back, shake out your wrists a little bit, back to your tabletop. Inhale, bring your right hand up towards the sky, opening up your chest towards the other side of your mat. And then exhale, we're going to thread our right hand between our left hand and our legs and sink down onto your outer shoulder. So your forehead is on the floor, the side of your forehead. Your left hand can either be right beside your face. You can reach it up overhead, nice and long. You could even walk it some towards the right, so it's at a diagonal. Another option would be behind your back, and you can kind of reach that right hand around to grab your right thigh crease. So those are all some different options. Find what feels good for you and your body today. You can wiggle your right finger some if you want. You could pet the dog if you want. And breathe. Pay attention to your breath. Long, deep inhales and exhales. Sink into your pose. You can also play with opening your chest up more towards the left or rolling it down and your chest is more towards your mat. You can see what your body needs. Slide that left hand back in by your face. Inhale, pushing yourself up. Bring your right arm back up to the sky and your hand back down to your mat. Thank you, sweet kitty. Sorry, cat's had the Sharpie. Don't know where that came from. So let's do the other side. Inhale, your left arm up, peeling it towards the sky, opening your chest nice and big. And then exhale, sweeping that left arm between your right hand and your legs. Lower yourself down to the outer edge of your shoulder. Side of your forehead is on your mat. Your hands again can be right beside you, your face. You could reach up overhead in some cupcake fingers. You could do it at a little bit of a diagonal there, overhead. You can wrap it around your back. And then grab your left thigh. Keep your belly engaged. Breathe deep. Your other options were to play with opening your chest up more towards the side, or you could kind of close it down a little bit more towards the mat. Find what feels good for you today, where you feel like you might be getting the most release. Big belly breaths. Two more breaths. Slide your right hand in by your face again. Big inhale, push your body up, opening that left arm up towards the sky. And exhale your hand back down to the mat. Set back, shake out your wrists some, roll them out. Next, Next, we are going to do a side over your bolster. So if you have a bolster, a pillow, your cushion, if you need to roll up some blankets for this, that's fine, whatever you have at home. So the bolster is going to go between your hip point and right about your lower rib in that area. So we can open up. If it goes farther up, no worries, not a big deal. So you drape your body, your side body, over your bolster, your pillow. Your head can rest on your arm, and both arms are extended overhead. If this is really sore on your neck, you could grab a block or another pillow and prop your head up so then it's not at this angle. Just have to play with it, see what works for you. Take some breaths. Breathe into this. Some other little options would be if your hips and knees are sore, like leaving them like this, you could always put a pillow in between your knees. Or you can play with opening your upper body up more. Or you can close it down some towards the front of your mat. You can also play with extending your left hand beyond the midline of your body. So it's kind of behind you at a diagonal. Like if it's more yearning towards 1 o'clock, if you had a big clock face around your mat. Wiggle your fingers. And don't forget to breathe. Two more breaths. Next inhale, bring that left hand down beside your cheek, kind of underneath your shoulder. And then exhale and push yourself up to easy seat, crisscross applesauce, right leg in front. See if you can tell the difference between your right side body and your left side body. One side might feel a little bit more open than the other. So you might almost feel like one shoulder's higher since that side body's open a little more. And let's go to your other side. So if you need to move your bolster, your pillow, go ahead and do that. Set it up so it's between your hip bone and your ribs. Lay yourself on over it. You can use that block for your head if your neck is sensitive. Your arms reach up overhead if you can. Your options were to put a pillow between your knees if you need to. You can also play with dropping your shoulder, your right shoulder kind of front and back. That will give you a different sensation. You can wiggle your fingers. You can take your right arm and reach it behind you, past your midline. So like your fingertips are yearning towards 11 o'clock if you had that clock face on your mat. And you're breathing, filling your belly up nice and full. Close your eyes if you can during these poses. Relax your face for about 3 more breaths here. In your next inhale, bring your right hand underneath your shoulder. Exhale and push yourself up to your easy seat. Left foot in front this time. Hands on your knees. Take a moment and pause. Big belly breath, inhale. Sigh it out. And just notice how your 2 sides feel now. They feel a little bit more balanced. A little more open. We are going to close with supported fish. Supported fish, you will have your bolster, pillow, cushion, whatever coming down the spine of your back. If you don't have that and you want to use blocks, you can always use blocks in it. It's a little bit more of a deeper sensation with blocks, of course. And you might need a block or a pillow to support your head as well. So just bring your bolster kind of in the middle of your mat, about halfway down. And then sit at the end of it, nice and slow, gentle. Bring yourself over your bolster. You have the option of just leaving your neck back, your head on the floor, the top of your head, or you can grab that pillow or block or whatever, like I had mentioned, and prop your head on it. Whatever is comfortable for your neck and your head. Your hands, place them on your belly, and then you can just let them slide down to the floor. You have that option, so your hands are kind of on your hip points and your elbows are on your mat. Or you can place your hands straight on the mat, palms up like you would in Shavasana. Your legs can either be bent, they could be the knock-kneed, where your toes and feet are on the edges of your mat and your knees meet in the middle, or you can reach them long. If you reach them long, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your hip points as well in that area. But if you have a sensitive low back, this may not be the option for you. So pick what feels good, and then we're just going to settle in for a few minutes. And if you're in one position and you're like, yeah, this ain't working now, go ahead and switch to a different one. I don't want any pain in your body. I just want you to feel the sensations that you can breathe through. Filling your belly up. Relax your face muscles. Let your body just sink into your prop. Namaste. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, kind of waking yourself back up. If your legs are extended, bring your knees in and hug one knee into your chest. Release. Hug your other knee into your chest and release. And carefully come up off of your bolster, whatever your prop may be. Come to easy seat, crisscross applesauce. Take a moment, hands on your knees, just to kind of shake it out a little, wiggle around. See how your body's feeling, if it feels any different from than whenever we started in this position. Big inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for this practice today. If you enjoyed this, I do have a course coming out late January, early February in 2024 for MFR, so myofascial release and self-healing massage. I'd love for y'all to check that out. You can find that course over at truetoyouyoga.com, and I'm also going to drop the link below in the description. If you have any questions, please reach out. May you always stay true in your intentions, true to your heart's desire, and speak loving truth to those around you. Namaste. Love ya.